I'm Connie White, and I write under the name C.E. White, and you are here for the explanation of the piece I wrote for Sarah's Metaphor series on fog and light and darkness. And I wrote that one just because I have been thinking a lot about how Jesus is the light of the world, and about how the light has come and the darkness has not overcome it, as it says in John 1:5. And just think about what that looks like in the world as far as light and what comes in between us and light and what makes us feel like the light is less illuminating. And so I brought in the fog first because I feel like, to me, it represents kind of the deception and the things that creep in when we're not paying attention, the things that creep in whenever we are not arming ourselves with the knowledge of the word and with the armor of God. And so those things can blind us to the light. And so that's why I used kind of fog, because it comes in the dark. It comes in at night, and we don't notice it creeping in. It's very subtle often, and then suddenly we realize we can't see, and we feel stuck and lost, and it feels like there's not a way to find our direction. And that's what can happen whenever we let the lies that Satan tries to teach us through the things, the wisdom of the world, and just many subtle lessons, the desire for pleasure, the flesh, and all the things that we let blind us to the things of God. And then, of course, the sun in the metaphor represents Jesus and how he has come and how he does dispel that deception. But we can still choose to live in the dark even once we know the truth. And so there's a double layer that the light can overcome, but we can still choose to live in the dark if we want to. But how that's really a decision at that point. Once we understand and have seen the glory and the truth and the wonder of Jesus, then we have made a choice if we decide not to live in the light after that. But then also how even when we live in the light, the darkness still comes. Like there is day and there is night, and Jesus says we will have troubles in this world. And so I wanted to, he will come back. And that's the beauty of the imagery of the sun coming back each day, because Jesus, in his second coming, is only going to come back once. But in our lives, sometimes it feels like he goes away, and we're in this dark season. We're going through this dark time, this really difficult thing, and it feels like he's gone away. And we know that he's still there, but it doesn't feel like it. And that's what I kind of wanted to indicate with the day and the night, and how the longer we live and walk with him, and the more we mature in Christ, the more we know he's still in his place, and he is coming back. I will rejoice again, as David says repeatedly in the Psalms during his laments of feeling like God has forgotten him, and just that he will keep his promises. He cannot lie. He's always coming back. He's always coming back in his presence in our lives, and he's always coming back in his second coming for his children in the end. So that's my explanation of this piece.